Thank you very much. And once more, welcome to this conversation this evening, sir. You are now on.
Thank you very much. I should first of all thank you for organizing this conference. And I'm not going to repeat all that Chibuodo has said, all that to say I 100%.
I've read all those participating. Put me back on the picture so that you can see.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir.
I don't like that. Well, I don't know. So the problem in this country is what he has elaborated. Both coronavirus has only come to emphasize the awkwardness of our government. And I think if we are really serious about keeping this country together and making progress, it is time to restructure the country back to true federalism as we had it at independence. On this call, I think I have to elaborate on what Chibuodo has said, because some of the opponents of restructuring, like Takoya Kasai, I listened to him. He said, doesn't understand what is restructuring. And as those who are talking of restructuring should tell us what they mean. And I'm sure it is in this country, all the clamoring we have been made in my own interview, in my own instruction, I have been emphasizing that those who don't understand what restructuring is, they should go and read the 1963 Constitution. And I trace it back to the Constitution we are asking for, is what Chifolo, Amadu Bello, and Sabdara, and Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe handed over to us at independence. And that agreement was made in 1954, after the collapse of the unitary government that was introduced by McPherson. The whole country was sent back to London by Los Shandos and asked all the leaders to talk about what was the cause of the crisis at that time. Because the crisis fell on the one that Shawano told them that an heterogeneous society like ours cannot be ruled as a uniform of government. And when the collapse came, Lord Chancellor, the then colonial secretary, invited all the leaders of the government. They were then elected the present leaders into London. What is your problem? It was at that conference, to the credit of Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, who was a unitarist, that Shifalo explained to them that if we really want to keep this country together, we must have to go back to federalism. On the satisfaction of that explanation, on return to Nigeria, Dr. Azikiwe said federalism was imperative. What do we mean by that? It is just the autonomy of the federated states, the liberty to develop at our own space, unlike what we now have. And for the information of people like Takoya Kasai, when he says he doesn't understand what we mean, there was nothing in our constitution that created 177 and 74 local government in the country, with the majority in the north, minority in the south, and basing the number of local government on the way we are going to distribute our revenue. That was the beginning of the fraud. And when you hear people from south and south to say no, let's keep our income. Let us develop, let us earn our money and spend it and contribute to the federal government on a typically federal constitution. That is what is happening in America. We said no, and they agreed. It was at that conference that the question of revenue on the derivation basis was agreed to. And they came back in 1954 to establish the base for federalism. It was from that on we went on to independence. And what we have there, under that constitution we had, which we are now agitating for, that each federated unit should be autonomous. to the extent that each unit had a representative abroad. And I gave the example of the Western region, which Paulo led at that time. He established a foreign embassy in London under that constitution to show his independence. It was really cool, but later on, the other regions followed. And we were the first to establish that embassy at 14A Kensington Palace Gardens in London. Federal government followed. Northern government followed. Eastern government followed. And I have the joy to say it is that embassy in London in 1960 that I got married by the agent general who was representing Western region to show the autonomy. But now, as a result of our independence, Paulo was able to do a lot of development in the Western region. The free education, free medical services, road development, the first television in Africa, and on no occasion did he go to Balewa to ask for 1 penny subsidy, as we are now. We are now video bottle economics now. Every state that go to Abuja to go for the allocation, which it ought not to be. Under a really federal constitution, that is to be taken for granted. You have your money, you find a way of getting more money for yourself and how to spend it. And you agreed on 50% to the federal government for all the subjects you allocated the federal government in the interest of the federation. That was all. That was how we had peace. Our Shibaulo under the system, build Liberty Stadium, Amadou Bello built Amadou Bello Stadium. Okpara did a lot of agricultural development, and on and on. But when these military people came, I want to refer to it that this is not our constitution. We have been repeating it and they never denied it. It is an imposed constitution by the Muslim military of the North. Nobody contributed to it. And I often refer to the fact that when General Obasanjo was going to be installed, after the installed the civilian rule, Absalam said he didn't know what was in that constitution before he sworn in. So each time we asked him to change the constitution and organize a sovereign national conference, he said, no, I can't change it because I am woven to the constitution to which I swore to. And I said, which constitution you swore to? Do you know what was there? This is the situation we're having. As a result, there will be unrest in South because the people who have given us the money, there is no development there. At that time, the income of each region was their own. The Western region had the privilege of having the income from cocoa. The Eastern region through palm kernel, the Northern region through granite. And we are at peace. The local government, the police, and security, as John Wodo said, we're all autonomous and we are living in peace. This was what we had on, and all the development Wodo was referring to during the First Republic that we compare with other regions was under the Constitution. Which came in 1966 and changed the whole thing. And the bullied is gone through from the center downwards. And nobody can say anything to the contrary. The whole thing now is you either agree with the end of the day. And unfortunately, now I don't say it's not a listening government. And I will say without any hesitation, we are only deceiving ourselves. President Buhari is not sincere about keeping this country together. And that's why we're having this problem. That is why he's putting square peg in round holes. That is why we tell you, keep to the Constitution by your appointment. You say, no, I can only work with people with whom I have confidence, which is against the Constitution under the federal character. And the whole country was talking about it, it just turned their ears. You can go to places, he has never addressed anybody. This question of restructuring, we have been on for over 5 years now, and throughout the time it has been there. The leaders what is that direction coming from, please?
Sorry, go ahead, sir.
Can you please stop this? It disturbs me. I don't know why
Yes,
it's when I'm
sorry.
talking.
We're really sorry about that. Sorry, go ahead, sir.
I disturb my brain. Now, all these arrangements that we are talking of, he has never found an occasion to say, this is my reaction. Even his military colleagues have now agreed we should restructure. All his predecessors have agreed. All the political leaders have agreed. Even his party have agreed. And yet, our man who is to rule us, who says he's sincere, that's why I say he's not sincere. He has a private program. He has a program of his own. So if you can have the authorities of outside world or anybody to persuade Buhari, look into the question of peace in this country. We can never have peace in this country until you restructure the country back for federalism. And for the education of Tanko Yakasai, restructuring is not a philosophy. It is a way of rebuilding the constitution back to federalism. Because when they say those who are talking about restructuring, what do they mean? It's a sort of pretense because he was a parliamentary secretary under Balewa. Wonder what constitution was that? And he was present at 2014 National Conference when we agreed on these things. He didn't say what was what. So there is no sincerity among the leaders of the North, particularly the far North, in the question of keeping this country together. And when people like me talk about the unity of this country, I have gone through it. That is why Tanko Yakasai surprises me. He was one of the progressive under Aminu Kano, opposing Ghana's conservatism. But now I don't know what has happened. And that's why people even say that anything far northern, either Fulani or something, they have a private agenda. It was a progressive. But here we are. Now let us sit down together. I don't want to lose my friend from the North. Many of them have been there. He is one. They will agree. But that guy is another. The late BMD Yusuf is another. There's no hatred or bitterness against Northerners at all. All we want is we want a constitution under which everybody is satisfied that there is no injustice. Once there is injustice, there can be no peace. When there is no peace, no equity, there can be no development. All other things we are doing now is to play up to the individual. And it's the same as encourages corruption. And as you want to say, we are going to have democracy in the country when the party that is going to rule the country is not democratic. Right now, they want to do election in Ondo and Edo. They ask the government to come and deposit 22 billion for an extension of interest. How do you have that for that is party contribution, not the cost of the election? Which means election, you're a billionaire, you cannot contest the election. However qualified, however economic PhD you have, if your pocket is not deep, you can't contest elections. That's a democracy. We have government now where constitutionalism is put aside. Our head of state obeys the judgment that he likes. And then he believes you are not doing the right thing, he sacks you. There's no respect for the judiciary. Question of separation of power? No. My dear sir, the only thing I think we should do, if anybody is interested in the progress and unity of this country, peaceably, I have to emphasize that. Because some people pay lip service to the unity of the country when they are doing things that will not make peace. And there's no peace, no equity, there can be no equity, there can be no agreement, there can be no peace. So I will apply, I will plead with Buhari to join good work, the noble citizens of this country to sit down. We don't want the country to break. The Christians of restructuring often say, oh, you have to restructure, you have to break the country. Who wants to break the country? A person like me, 50% of my life has been built on the question of the United Country. In 1979, I spent over 1 year in the Northeast, where there's Boko Haram now, fighting for the Unity Party of Nigeria. I could have saved my Western region. And so also all the leaders of Unity Party went all over the country because we want the country together. Not the unity of the horse and the rider. It is the unity where the Lord will pay the rider and we be the horse. So this is what is causing this respect or this unity or this harmony in the country. It's a simple matter. If Buhari is serious about keeping this country together in peace, not by force, what is wrong when I tell him, Mr. President, are you wiser, more intelligent, more Fulani than Saudana that agreed to this constitution at independence? Are you more educated? If all these questions cannot be answered in the negative, why can't you go back to what the forefathers give us? And when we talk of going back to the 1960 constitution, we are not necessarily saying go back to 4 regions or 3 regions. Those are matters of details. But the contents of the power in the regions there is what we want to be given to the federative units. We can be independent and still one. We have regional autonomy under a federal system, just as we have in Africa. But under this constitution, you have done a lot of inequalities. You mago the election, the population. It is in our own country now where the nearer the desert, the greater population. Not in America, not in Australia, not in New Zealand. It is only in Nigeria where the nearer the desert, the more the population.
Thank you very much.